Hey everyone, today I'm going to be showing you how to get Unity mobile development set up so that way you can test your apps or games on an actual mobile device. This is mostly going to focus on Android just because this is a Windows computer and I would need a Mac to do an Apple tutorial, but if that's needed we can make a tutorial in the future, so let us know. But anyway, the first step here is going to be to open a project. And so I'm going to make a new project. Boop, with this version. We're going to call this, once it loads, Unity Mobile Development. But it's going to be slow and laggy. There we go. All right. Unity Mobile Development. Create. We got to wait for it right here. Cool. Now, that may take a couple minutes depending on your computer, and that was the first time that I've opened up this version of Unity, so that's why mine took a little while. But your Unity should look similar to this. I have mine rearranged a little bit so that you guys would have your game tab up there, and so you would see just like this. But you can rearrange tabs and stuff. But don't worry about how this all looks layout-wise, because that's not going to matter a whole lot. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm just going to add something into the scene here. And so we have our camera pointing this way. So I'm going to add, we're going to make a snowman. All right. We're going to make 3 spheres. Ooh. Yeah, there's one sphere. We're going to make another sphere. We're going to make this sphere a little bit bigger, like 1.5, 1.5, 1.5. You guys should already have, if you're watching this video, you should already have something that you've made in Unity, so you don't have to worry about that. That looks like BB-8. You know, we're going to leave it like that. Our 2 snowman. All right, great. So we have something in the scene. The next thing we're going to want to do, so once we have our whole app together, let's pretend this is a game or an app, and I'm like, great, I'm ready to test this on the device. You're going to go up here to File. You're going to click Build Settings, and then you'll see that right now we have it for PC, Mac, Linux, whatever. We have it for a desktop, essentially. And we want to deploy this to a phone, in our case, an Android. So you should see Android somewhere in this list. And it's going to say, no Android module loaded, which is fine. We can install it. So I'm going to click this button that says Install with Unity Hub and wait for it to load. And it should take me back to this, and it'll automatically open up for your version of Unity this Add Modules section. And so it's going to have the Android build support selected already, but big thing here, okay, this is a key. Hit the down arrow, okay? If you don't hit the down arrow and you don't select both of these, you're gonna run into some problems. You can always come back and recheck these after if you accidentally missed that step. But these are needed. Otherwise, just the Android build support on its own is not going to do much. So make sure you check both those boxes. So you have these 3 checked. Don't worry about any of these other ones. They don't matter. Just these 3. Hit Next. It's going to say, yes, have you agreed to our terms of service? Read through those and then hit Done. And once again, it's going to be a long waiting process. So yeah, just wait for that to install. All right, and once that's done, you should see this little Android logo on whichever version of Unity you're using. And like I said before, if you accidentally clicked through and you didn't check those other 2 boxes, you can hit these 3 arrows here, click Add Modules, and it'll bring the same thing up again. And so you can hit the drop-down arrow and select those 2 things right here, the SDK, NDK, and the JDK, because those are all needed. So you can do those and install those. And then once you do that, you're going to need to restart Unity because it can't tell right now that you have installed the Android SDK, so you're going to have to close Unity and reopen it. So let me do that real quick. Cool. So once Unity loads back up, you're going to go back up here to File, click Build Settings, and then click Android again. And this time you'll have all these different settings on here, which is great. That's what we want. And then we're going to hit this button on the bottom right that says Switch Platform. And so once again, patience, everybody. It's going to take a second to switch platforms. Sweet. Once you do that, this button will change to a build button, so you have build and run. That's what you want. So now we're going to close out of this, and we're going to go up to Edit, Preferences, towards the bottom. And we're just going to double check that we have everything we need. And so on the left over here, you're going to click on External Tools, and you're going to scroll down a little bit to down here where it says Android. And it says JDK installed, Android SDK, Android NDK, all of those. So if you have any of these that are blank, so if the JDK doesn't have a file path or the SDK doesn't have a file path, the NDK we don't have to worry about as much, but you should have all three of those. But if for some reason you're missing one of them, make sure that you checked all three of those checkboxes in the Add Modules section on the Unity Hub. But if for some reason you don't have one of those, you can go to OpenJDK's website, OpenJDK, and download a JDK there. That's pretty straightforward and easy to do. But that one should be installed for sure if you checked that box. But if you don't have the SDK, you can go to Android Studio. Let me open a browser tab here. You can go to Android Studio, download Android Studio, and yeah, just download Android Studio. I already have it downloaded, so I'm not going to click this, but it'll automatically install a SDK from there. And so once you have it installed, Android SDK, oh wait, I have it down here, boop. Yeah, so once you download Android Studio and you open it up, you've done all your installation things, you can find Sdk Manager, which I believe is, yes, under Tools up here, Sdk Manager. And then select any one of these SDKs that you want. Most of these will work, but the bottom three, I think, well, actually, yeah. Like the bottom 3 or 4 are really, really, really old, so I wouldn't go that far down. Install something that's a little bit newer. Depending on your phone, some phones might be like, that's too new of an API, you know, if you have an older phone. And so, like, anywhere in here, I have 9, Android 9, and Android 11, apparently. And so, select any of these, just hit the checkbox, and it'll give you this little download icon, and then you can hit apply, and it'll download the SDK for you. And then you'll just have to like take this file path right here, essentially. Yes, exit. And tell Unity that that's where your SDK is located. But mine automatically found the SDK because that was one of the modules in Unity. So hopefully you can figure that out. If you can't, let us know on Dev Team, because we can help you figure that out. Sometimes there's really weird bugs that make it difficult to do, and so there's always that weird situation. So yeah, once you have all three of these, you have your JDK, your SDK, and your NDK. And if for some reason you don't have an NDK, don't worry about that. That shouldn't matter, but it could matter, but it shouldn't matter. All right, so now we need to activate developer mode on your phone. So you've done everything you need to do in Unity, essentially, and now we gotta switch to a phone. So let me flip over to that.
So I'm going to show you on my phone. I'm on a Google Pixel 3a, and so most Pixels are pretty similar to this. But you want to go to your settings. No, not, oh, well, there's my settings. Great. So here's my settings. You're going to go all the way down to the bottom and go to About Phone. And then scroll all the way down, and there's a build number section. And you're going to want to tap build number 7 times. And you'll see it'll give you a pop-up telling you how many steps you are away. So you know you've tapped it enough times. Then it asks for your PIN. And boom, now it says you're a developer. Heck yeah. So the weird thing about this is developer mode is not in the About phone on my Pixel. It's actually in System, so I got to go back and click System here, and then you can see Developer Options. So I'm going to click Developer Options. It's on, perfect. There's a lot of settings here. Don't worry about any of them except for one. The one down here that says USB debugging. We need that enabled to be able to build something to our phone. So I'm going to check that on. It's like, are you sure you want to do this? And you're going to say yes. Okay. And so now you have USB debugging. You can also, if you want to, optional, check stay awake right here. And so anytime your phone is charging, aka like plugged into your computer, it can stay awake, it won't go to sleep, so you can look at your screen and not have to keep signing into your phone or whatever. So yeah, that's that.
Alrighty guys, we are almost done here. So now all that's left to do is plug in your phone essentially and get it hooked up to Unity. So I have my my phone charging cord plugged into my laptop, and I'm going to connect my phone. And then I get a notification on my phone that says, hey, you know, USB debugging is connected. You can tap to turn it off. Don't tap that. We want it on. But it's just good to know that, you know, it's working. We have USB debugging working. You might see a screen that shows it's asking for permission. Especially the first time you connect your phone to a computer, it's going to ask if you have permission to allow that device to connect via USB debugging. And so just say OK. And then we're going to go back to Unity here. We're going to go to File, Build Settings once again. And now we should see a drop down right here next to Run Device. And you might have to hit refresh, and it'll wait. It'll fetch the current devices. But you want to select your phone once it gets back here. Boom, Google Pixel 3, that's me. Click that, and then all you got to do is hit build. And well, you could hit build, but it's not going to run it. So I would hit build and run. And it's going to ask you to save where you want your build file. I like to make a folder, called builds, because you can have different builds at different stages in the process this way, which is nice. This is going to be first build. Boom, save it. And now it's going to deploy it to my phone, and I'll show you what that looks like on my phone once I get it up and running.
All right, made with Unity, perfect. And as you can see here, guys, that's our scene. That's my snowman that I made. So if all goes according to plan, you guys should see what you made on your phone as well. If your phone is sideways, like it's landscape orientation as opposed to portrait, you can change that setting in Unity. Just do a quick Google search for how to change the orientation of the build on an Android device, and it'll give that to you. And yeah, that's about all there is to it. Once again, if you guys have any questions or you run into any problems, feel free to ask somebody on dev team, and we can help you out there as best we can, because this video is supposed to cover everything, but you know, there's always those weird things that we might miss. So yeah, happy coding, everybody.